We're overdue for a top 5 mini PC update, and yeah, things sure have changed since the last video. The DRAM component apocalypse has caused RAM and SSD prices to skyrocket, which of course has been passed on to you, the consumer. And me too. I'm not immune. Anyway, there are still some okay deals to be had in the current market if you need a mini PC right now. There's no sign of things getting better anytime soon, so here are my picks for the top 5 options on Amazon.com, chosen from all the in-depth reviews that can be found on the channel. And let's get to it. Budget mini PCs have seen a big price hike relative to their prices pre-DRAM apocalypse. What used to be closer to $200 is now closer to $300, which makes the bang for buck much lower than it used to be. But those are the times we live in. The lowest price pick on the list is AceMagic's Vista V1, which is a compact budget mini PC powered by Intel's Twin Lake N150, a 4-core, 4-thread chip with integrated UHD graphics. It comes in at $269 with 16 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage. It's not much of a bang for buck option, but the Vista V1 with Intel's N150 is a decent entry option if budget is too tight to go up to the next mini PC on the list. Ports include dual USB 3, HDMI, DisplayPort, Gigabit LAN, and there's support for dual 4K 60 displays. However, there's no USB-C, while Wi-Fi and Bluetooth range are definitely weak points. As for performance, CPU gains over Intel's N100 are small for this budget CPU refresh. Single core is only slightly faster, and multi-core is basically unchanged. The biggest increase can be found with integrated graphics performance, where the N150 pulls ahead nicely. Compared to the best N100 systems tested, the N150 delivers around 20 to 25% better graphics performance in 3D Mark benchmarks. That helps with lighter games and emulation noticeably. AAA gaming is still extremely limited, and old titles like GTA 5 need lower resolutions. But for a student, office tasks, YouTube, or web browsing, it's fine, even if it isn't the snappiest. The Vista V1 also impresses with low temperatures and extremely quiet fan noise, making it one of the more ear-friendly budget mini PCs tested. Overall, it's an okay entry-level mini PC that's hit hard by the price increases found across all mini PCs. The GM-K-Tech M6 Ultra provides a huge boost in performance over the previous mini PC and manages to just fall in under $400. The AMD Ryzen 5 7640HS with Radeon 760M graphics brings mid-range performance at a decent price. The 16GB RAM, 512GB storage bundle with it is pretty decent too, all things considered. The M6 Ultra is an all-plastic mini PC with a unique look, easy access for upgrades, dual Gen 4 SSD slots, Wi-Fi 6E, USB 4, dual 2.5GB LAN, HDMI, and DisplayPort. Performance-wise, the mini PC holds up well when compared to the competition. Graphics especially sees a big leap thanks to the Radeon 760M, around 35 to 50% faster in 3D Mark tests over the previous generation. That translates into solid esports gaming, good emulator performance, and decent creative workloads like Photoshop and Premiere Pro. Yep, even 4K video editing is possible. The downsides? Fan noise is average, idle power draw is a little high, and the included SSD is only mid-range. Also, modern AAA gaming at 1080p low settings will still struggle unless you hook up an external GPU through USB 4. Overall, the GM-K-Tech M6 Ultra is a strong value mini PC with good connectivity, solid upgrade options, and performs well overall. The boss game P3 Plus was next, but it shot up in price during recording from $529 to $699. So instead, next up is the AceMagic W1 Mini PC, which packs AMD's Ryzen 8745HS with 8 cores, 16 threads, and Radeon 780M graphics. At $549 with 32GB of RAM and a 1TB SSD, it's priced competitively and hasn't jumped up as high as others compared to its launch. Build quality is decent overall, although the all-plastic chassis does creak a bit under pressure. Inside the box, you get a VESA mount, HDMI cable, and a compact 120W power supply. Port selection is solid too, including USB 4, multiple USB 3 ports, HDMI, DisplayPort, 2.5GB LAN, Wi-Fi 6, and Bluetooth. Now performance is good, but not class leading. In CPU benchmarks, the W1 keeps close to the competition, but falls slightly behind in GPU workloads. Gaming performance with a Radeon 780M is still respectable, handling esports titles at 1080p high, and older AAA games at 1080p low detail, although again, newer games will struggle. Creative workloads are a highlight. Photoshop performance is excellent, and Premiere Pro results are surprisingly competitive. Wireless and Bluetooth range are also some of the best tested, but there are downsides. Opening the system is frustrating, cooling is aggressive with thermal throttling capped out at 85 degrees Celsius, and fan noise can get pretty noticeable under load. While RAM didn't throttle during testing, it is worth noting that there's no active cooling for it. Overall, the Ace Magic W1 is a compact and capable mini PC with strong connectivity, solid productivity performance, and good value for money, even if it doesn't quite lead the pack in raw performance. Beelink's SO9 Pro is still one of the finest mini PCs around. It outclasses most with excellent cooling and class-leading low fan noise, and while it isn't cheap, the listing I found is actually still around its launch price for the same configuration. That's a 1TB SSD, 32GB of LPDDR5X memory, and the powerful AMD Ryzen HX370 CPU for $999 US. A premium PC with a premium price. Oh, and watch out for the AMD Ryzen H255 model with a similar SO9 name. It uses an inferior CPU. Beelink's SO9 keeps the premium metal chassis and includes USB 4, dual DisplayPort up to 4K 240Hz, dual NVMe Gen 4 slots, Wi-Fi 6, and 2.5GB LAN. There's also built-in microphone and stereo speakers if you're looking for those features, and they sound decent, but are nothing special. Beelink has gone with the fastest RAM supported, which is soldered LPDDR5X running at 8000 megatransfers. However, this does mean the RAM is not upgradable or replaceable. Performance overall is very good thanks to the competent cooling and the fast RAM. The Radeon 890M iGPU handles esports emulation and older AAA games well at 1080p settings. Newer ones will struggle. However, the USB 4 port means you can connect an external GPU if you want serious gaming power. The SO9 Pro also performs well in Photoshop, Premiere Pro, and coding workloads, making it a powerful tiny workstation. Oh, and SSD temperatures are kept under control with a large heatsink, which is important for those tasks. One big improvement over the previous Beelink SO8 is wireless performance. Wi-Fi dropouts and latency issues from the older model appear fixed, although Bluetooth range is nothing special. Beelink still dominates the low noise charts for powerful mini PCs, and your ears will be happy even when the mini PC is pushed under load. Overall, Beelink's SO9 Pro is still one of the best on the market, but has a price tag to match. Some of its features or lack of will turn buyers away, such as the soldered RAM, lack of Oculink, and larger power brick, which is especially disappointing, but the excellent cooling, low noise, and fixed Wi-Fi issues keep it highly competitive. The Minis Forum Atoman G1 Pro might be the coolest mini gaming PC the company has ever made. It's inspired by Sony's PlayStation 5 design, but looks much better. This compact 3.8 litre vertical gaming mini packs a desktop RTX 5060 graphics card inside a console-style chassis and a very powerful CPU, which is AMD's Ryzen 9 8945HX, a 16-core, 32-thread beastie. While Nvidia's RTX 5060 is not the most powerful GPU around and only has 8GB of VRAM, it still massively outperforms integrated graphics solutions, including AMD's high-end Radeon 8060S found in much more expensive Ryzen AI Max 395 Plus minis. At around $1,440 for 32GB of RAM and a 1TB SSD, it's actually cheaper than other gaming minis we've looked at in the current market. You also get Wi-Fi 7, dual Gen 4 SSD slots, the potential to upgrade the GPU thanks to the low profile desktop card design, and a surprisingly clean internal layout with a built-in 350 watt power supply. While the CPU is a powerhouse, the GPU is best suited for 1080p medium to high detail gaming if not using an upscaler like DLSS. But if you do use an upscaler, you will be able to go up to 1440p in many AAA games. Emulation performance is excellent too. However, CPU performance on my review unit was held back out of the box because Minis Forum only shipped it with a single stick of RAM. Whether this is the case with every Mini PC is something I wasn't able to get to the bottom of. Using a 2-stick kit of RAM fixed most of the performance issues immediately in benchmarks, code compiling, Photoshop, Premiere Pro, and encoding workloads. However, gaming didn't suffer as much, and since this is pitched as a gaming machine, it just made the list. Cooling is decent for the size, although CPU temps still approach 100 degrees under load, and fan noise is louder than standard Mini PCs, but not unusual for a dedicated gaming unit. Idle power behavior is also a little strange, with frequent spikes causing the fans to ramp up. Still, the biggest win here is the design. The Ataman G1 Pro finally feels like a polished gaming console style PC instead of a flashy RGB experiment. It's not perfect, but it's one of the most interesting and best looking gaming Mini PCs released in years, and comes recommended. That's the current top 5 list with a wide range of options. Prices keep changing, and if there's a similar option in the future that you're unsure about, check the channel if there's a review for it to see how it holds up. Not all Mini PCs are equal. Links are all in the video description, and thanks for your support. Oh, and if you're wondering what to do when you get your Mini PC, check out my setup guide right here. Cheers!